What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, my name's Big Papa Chad. Let's talk trucking today. So, is trucking in 2025 good? I'd have to say no, it's not. And if you're thinking about getting into trucking, you might reconsider. Some of the reasons that it's not good is we've been in a uncertain freight recession for several years now, and the freight rates are horrible. Fuel prices are still up, but the freight rates are still down, which is causing a lot of issues. The recession began in, I want to say, 21 or 22, and while it's been up a little and it goes back down, it's been down more than it's been up. I've got a lot of buddies that are owner operators that are struggling to make ends meet. I mean, if you've got a truck payment in you at all with an SFI truck or whatever, it's a dog eat dog right now. I mean, and it's tough. So, you know, in 2025, it's just been slow and uneven. Sorry, I'm watching some trucks over here backing up stuff, but it's just been slow and uneven. Freight will be good for 1 week, then it'll go back down. But that's one part of it. The other part of it is the operational cost that carriers are facing. They can't continue. This is why we have all these trucking companies that are going out of business right now, because they just can't sustain the cost of insurance, fuel, and everything that they're trying to do with the rates the way that they are. I mean, you've got truck maintenance costs are higher, operational costs are higher, and then on top of that, they got to pay drivers. So it's a no-win deal for these guys, man, these companies. And we've seen several this year that have shut down, you know. At one time, the market was oversaturated with drivers. And just to be real about it, a lot of foreign drivers were coming into the market, which was driving the rates down because they were hauling freight for a cheaper price. And the thing about it is that these bigger carriers who have a lot of drivers, they can't compete with these guys. You know, everybody used to go on freight rate or bids and stuff like that for the year. Well, when the times get tough and it becomes a carrier's market or a shipper's market versus a carrier's market, then they go back to the bargaining table and say, well, hey, we're not going to pay that because we got people that'll haul it for a lot cheaper than what you need to haul it for. And generally it flips back and forth to a carrier market and then a shipper's market. And a lot of times there's a lot of bartering that goes on. Hey, listen, we'll cover you when our market's high, you cover us when your market's high. But what's been happening is the shipper's market has been a lot better than the carrier's market. So then now they've thrown all that aside and they said, hey, we're going to go to the cheapest carriers. We're going to save us some money. We're going to go to the cheapest carriers. I don't know how many trucking companies have went out of business in 2025, but I know that there's been several. And I would say before the end of this year and the beginning of next year, you're going to see a lot more carriers going out of business because they just can't afford to maintain, which in turn is putting drivers out of business or putting them with other companies. And the other companies that they're going to, they're struggling as well because they're not getting the freight. So it's an endless cycle. And some of this is eventually going to hopefully work itself out with getting some illegal drivers off the road. That may help it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to sustain the troubles that we have going on right now. And this tariff deal is really affecting a lot of stuff. And listen, Trump has to figure out a way to get this tariffs under control. And because what's happening is we're just seeing whose dick is bigger type deal. Like I'm going to put tariffs on you. Well, what do? They put tariffs on us. And then it's just jacking everything up for everybody. And nobody's winning. The consumer's not winning. The trucking companies aren't winning. The shippers aren't winning. Nobody's winning at this whole deal. And until we get this under control, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. I hope that you're not one of the drivers that's got put out on the street, no job and stuff like that. And even this industry that I'm in right now with hauling entertainment, it affects my industry. It doesn't affect it as far as food and stuff like that, but it affects it as ticket prices go up. People don't go to shows. Guess what? We don't have anybody to take. We're not hauling anything to a show because there's no shows. So the whole circle comes full circle, no matter what part of trucking that you're in. If you're a flatbedder, where their rates tend to be higher than dry van for the most part. If you're a flatbedder and the tariffs on steel are too high, it's going to start affecting that market. So it doesn't matter, food, dry van, everything is going to be affected by this. And I don't see any end in sight. I really don't, and I hate to say that, but we went through 2025 and it's been horrible in the trucking industry. It's probably been one of the worst years trucking-wise, industry-wise, that I've seen since I've been out here for 30 years. I feel that even during COVID, trucking was better than it is now, and that's just my opinion. I think these last 2 years have just been absolutely brutal on this industry. I'd like to know what you think about this whole deal. If you would, leave me a comment if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right, what you think about the whole deal, what you think the trucking industry is going to do, what you think is going to happen. And yes, before you say anything about my bed, I had it made, but my dog over here gets in there and roots around in there and pulls everything up, so I'm not worried about that. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I appreciate it, and I want to hear from you guys. So we'll holler at you guys later. Be safe out there.